Okay, Coach is back, and apologize for the technical issues. First question, we will go to Sam McHugh in Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Coach. Penn State ran 25 plays on those final two drives, and they didn't score a point. Your defense today, how well did they bow up against 90 total plays and I think 37 minutes on the field? How impressed were you with them and the way they played?
Yeah, Sam, I appreciate that question. It's always better to learn after a win than a loss. There's still a lot of things we need to clean up, but I feel like the team needed to turn the page on being in some of those games and not finding a way to get it done. I think everybody in Nebraska can see the progress the defense has made and how much more athletic we are, how much harder they play, how much smarter they play, and credit to Coach Chins and the defensive staff. I'm so happy for the kids, so happy for the coaching staff, so happy for Nebraska fans that have been waiting on this as impatiently as I have. And it certainly wasn't the prettiest game, but anytime you win, I think it's going to help boost us going forward.
Thank
you. Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey, Scott, can you talk about how Luke played today and just that decision to go with him?
Yeah, that decision is one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. I think so much of who Adrian Martinez is as a football player and as a person. He's been through a lot with us. He certainly practiced well enough to play, so it was a tough decision. We went with Luke. I thought, considering it was his first start, he did a lot of really good things, and there's a lot there to build on. But we have two unbelievable individuals at that position, and I was happy for Luke today.
WOWT, Joe Nugent.
Hey, Scott, it doesn't appear that Xavier Betts needs the ball 10 times to affect the game. What can you say about his talent and that touchdown he had in the second quarter?
We just decided to try to find a way to get a couple guys the ball, and some of them popped, some of them didn't. That kid has a chance. Xavier had a chance to be a really good football player here. Since he got here, he's become more and more committed to trying to be really good. If he commits himself to this and knows what he's doing all the time and does things the right way, he's going to find his way on the field, and he's got a chance to be a special player for us. It means a lot to me, care about all the kids so much, but to see a homegrown kid have that kind of success is really special.
Real quick, was Dietrich injured at all?
Dietrich got nicked up. He's gonna be fine, but we got to clean some things up as a coaching staff. Obviously, there's a lot to build on here, and there's a lot to improve. Dietrich got nicked up, and that kind of affected us moving Wandale, the running back, and getting some of the personnels right. We got a lot of personnel groups, more than I'm used to dealing with, as we're trying to get young guys involved, and coaching staff, myself included, have to do a better job of making sure we get the right people on the field, especially to start drives. But Millsy will be fine. He just couldn't finish the game, and we ended up playing Wandale at running back probably a little more than we expected.
Sean Callahan, Husker Online.
Hey, Coach, how much did your team and just this state in general, how much did they need a game like this, a win like this, where things finally broke your way down the stretch? Because obviously you've been on the wrong side of a lot of these the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, the state needed it. The team needed it. I needed it. We talked at halftime, and I talked to him frankly that we'd been in this situation before. And, man, when we came off coverage and missed a sack and they threw a long pass down to the one, felt like the Colorado game a year ago. You need to learn how to win, and I think winning will help the kids know they can win and find ways to win going forward. I'm certainly not happy with how a lot of things went in the second half. Don't think that game should have been as close as it was. But when you find a way to win, hopefully, again, that we've turned a corner there, and next time we're in that situation, we'll put the hammer down.
Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Scott, I know Wandale hasn't played much running back, obviously, this year before today. What does it say about him that you can just put him back there and give it to him as many times as you need to in a situation like that?
Wandale can do about anything we ask him to do on the field. We try to get him a couple quick screens and shovel pass and trying to find ways to get him the ball. You know, that game was a little strange that we went into the game with kind of one plan, and when we got ahead, you're kind of caught in still continuing with the game plan and being aggressive and making sure that we don't go fast and put our defense out there too much. I think the defense still played 90-some snaps compared to our 60 on offense. Wandale's one of our best players, and he can do about anything you ask him to do. So I expect him to keep getting the ball and having breakout games.
Andy Kendi, KETV.
Hey, Scott, how big turnovers are always big, but how big were those turnovers, one to score and the other to flip the field by Cam Taylor-Britt?
Those are huge, you know, and we're playing a really good team. I give a lot of credit to Penn State for what they've built there. This is such a strange year with COVID and everything going on, and you know, not having a preseason. I talked about that this week, and going straight into conference play. You can win or lose every week. Penn State is the best team with that record that I've ever seen. You know, they probably should have won week one and then played a really good team, and just had some bad things happen to them in week three. And you need those turnovers, and you got to take advantage of them because you never know when they're going to happen to you. And that's kind of the tale of two halves. We got those plays in the first half. Then in the second half, you know, we called a pass play in the fourth quarter and had a guy open, and they had really good pass rushers and got to us, and the balls went up in the air and they got one. So when you get those plays in this league, you got to take advantage of them because they can turn around and bite you too.
Ryan Christopherson, 24/7.
Hey, Scott, can you talk about the game your cornerbacks played? I mean, it felt like they held Dotson down pretty well, and, you know, especially at the end down on the goal line, they weren't given an inch on those passes in the end zone.
Yeah, that was impressive, wasn't it? I mean, I've been here 3 years and seen us give up some fades and get pass interference penalties, and watching Cam and DCAP and Quentin Newsome and Deontay break up some of those passes and be in the right position, not get penalties. I think it shows the improvement that those guys have made. Coach Fish deserves a lot of credit for that, and I thought they played not just a good game, they played a smart game.
Time for a couple more for Coach Caleb Henry, KLIN.
Coach, from what you were able to see, what was the biggest issue with your offense in the second half?
Well, probably the biggest issue is Penn State has a really talented defense. You know, we need to capitalize still. Maybe I got a little too conservative this time. We throwing 2 interceptions in the red zone a week ago, and I kind of challenged the guys to commit to running the ball in when we got it down there. But certainly the one field goal we kicked, we came up a yard short and had a 4th and 1. And if we'd have put that in the end zone, then, you know, I wouldn't have had to lose a year off my life at the end of that game. Thought we did a good job designing one pass play and had a guy open in the back of the end zone in the first half and just didn't catch it. But, you know, then we got ahead, to be honest with you, and the last thing I wanted to do is give up points and do anything to take a chance with the ball. So our game plan kind of shifted, like I said, from really being aggressive and taking shots to trying to manage the game and make sure we didn't give one away.
Andrew Ward, KLKN.
Hey, Scott, on that final defensive stop, you know, just how fitting is it that it's a senior, Ben Stilley, making a big play in the pass rush?
Ben's been through a lot. A lot of these kids that have been here this whole time with us have been through a lot. They've seen coaching changes. They've seen different schemes. They've lost some games they shouldn't lose. They've had a lot to deal with. I told those guys that we needed somebody to step up and make a play if the game got close. And, again, an Ashland, Nebraska kid to step up and make that kind of play. It's special for us, but so happy for him.
All right, last one for Coach. We'll go back to Sam McEwen.
I want to drill down a little bit more with Luke. What did you like about what he did today, and where are the areas you'd like to see him build on?
Well, First game, I thought he handled himself well. He's going to create plays sometimes when there's not plays there, and Adrian did too. We got to be a little more dangerous in the pass game still. That being said, you go back to the Maryland game that Penn State played, and I think I said this before the game, but they had 176 yards on 4 plays and about 102 yards on the other 56, if my memory's right. That's a good defense. They're a good defense. They've just made some mistakes. So we'll keep working to make sure we throw the ball down the field more. I think everybody's aware that we need to do that. We'll give Luke a lot of chances to do that. And we kind of had a plan to do that a little more until we got a 3-touchdown lead. Overall, I thought Luke handled the situation well, which says a lot about him. A lot of kids in their first start would be really nervous and go out there and maybe make some mistakes. And other than getting hit once when he was throwing and having an interception, I didn't really see him make a lot of mistakes, and that's one of the keys to winning.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll have players in just a minute.